Hey everyone, welcome to this channel. Welcome to A Conscious Time. Mark Deveau here. We discuss navigating this world through the eyes of awareness, which is unlimited, ever expanding, and try and bridge spirituality with pragmatism. We'll have touches of spirituality, and but I'll try and keep this as pragmatic as possible. So this is a video on how to deal with stress. Sounds cliche, and there's probably so much out there to find on dealing with stress, but hopefully this video will help you and add great value and give you a good insight. As I've mentioned before, I've had a bit of history with stress, anxiety, and I've learned and grown so much from that. So hopefully I can help others out there to deal with stress. So this was triggered not too long ago by a situation. This was in a work environment. Not to take anything away from the situation, that it was quite a stressful situation. But I found myself under stress, and it caught me through the eyes of awareness. Why am I so stressed? And it dawned on me that I'm trying to control everything. So this goes back to egoic mindset, and I've talked about the ego in some of my other videos, and I take my ego learnings from A Course in Miracles. So that's where the ego is basically a false thought system. It's a me, myself, I, separate. Very separatism. It's small, it's illusory, it's fear-based, it's death, demise, as opposed to, in contrast to you being part of God, given everything, lacking for nothing. So if that makes sense, ego versus God, and you being part of God. So that's on a higher spiritual level. As I said, I'm going to keep this as pragmatic as possible. So if you link stress with trying to control things, and control linking to the ego, and so wherever you find yourselves in a relationship or at work, whatever the case may be, maybe it's a long situation that is stressful, maybe it's a very short time situation. Stress comes down to you trying to control every single aspect in life, as opposed to surrendering to life. These things sound so cliche, but when you understand these and own this, you will literally find yourself in situations that those same triggers will not have the power over you. You'll be able to rest in that God-given peace that I've spoken before, that peace of God that surpasses all understanding. So instead of resting in egoic, delusional mindset, trying to control everything, you are resting in your God-given peace that you share with God, that you are part of God, so you lack for nothing. So you've got to understand that through the eyes of awareness, and each one's understanding is slightly different, but the more you practice this, the more you understand. So every time you will get into a situation that is stressful, you'll be able to tap back into that. You'll be able to relinquish the control, relinquish the small-based egoic mindset, and you can sit in that peace. It will maybe be challenging at times, but this will give you that peace. And I've definitely been in situations where I've been faced with things that would maybe send me off on a anxiety, stressful bender, for lack of a better word, but I've rested in that peace of God, and it's an incredible feeling to have that, and that comes with insight. What are you putting into your life every day that I've mentioned before? So just to go back to dealing with stress, and just to unpack that a little bit more, the control you have, because you're under stress, you're trying to control every single aspect, and there are aspects out there that are literally beyond your control. I mean, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with situations, you're dealing with world affairs, you're dealing with all sorts of things. So if you're under stress, you're actually living in a very delusional, egotistical mindset, because you're trying to control everything, and now you are under stress, and you're living future-based as well, as opposed to being present. So what you can control is you have full control over maybe a portion of life, if you can call it that, and that's within yourself. So if you're controlling yourself, and you're operating in that peace, how do you find that peace? I would have to say it's spirit-led. So you can, on a higher spiritual level, ask for, simple thing is to say, Holy Spirit, guide me, and that's all you have to do. Anything beyond is egotistical, because now you're not surrendering. So surrender to the Spirit of God, surrender to the peace that you have with God already in this present moment. You are feeling stressed because you haven't forgotten that, and you're trying to now control everything again through the ego. I know I'm repeating things, but it's It's always good to repeat these things. So the control you have is from within. When you control yourself, then the outside world will shape accordingly as well. Anything beyond that is again egotistical, and you're trying to control every aspect. You have to now, once you know you've done the best you can, and you've got to realize you're doing the best. Anything beyond that is delusional, because now a very key factor is guilt. Guilt will rob you of life and make you think that you are not doing everything you can. And why I say you're doing everything you can, because that is based on your current level of awareness. You can check yourself and go, you can see if there's a stressor where that's triggering you, that's putting you under that maybe tension or pressure, and you can question, say, what can I change or adjust to maybe negate that or change the situation. Once you've checked yourself, now you can let that go. If you're continuously living in stress, you're continuously living in guilt then, and you're continuously living in trying to control everything. So I hope I am tracking, and I hope I am making sense. The control is within yourself, surrendering to everything else, living in the faith that everything, you have been given everything, and guiding yourself accordingly. And then everything else will track. But if you're living in that stress, you're going to gain more stress, because now every step you take is going to be in stress, if that makes sense, because you're now living in stress, so now you are vibrating in a stress dimension or energy. So now it's going to get more stressful until something has to give. All right, so the trick is to catch yourself when you start feeling that stress. It can be through your body, and surrender. Know that you are doing everything. Don't tap into trying the ego mindset and trying to control everything. Know you are doing the best you can, and rest in that peace of God, guided by the Holy Spirit. Yeah, so hopefully that has made sense. Let me know your thoughts, views, sharings, like, subscribe if you found value in this, and we'll check you on the next one.